Hey, welcome to my journey into another meals video. This one goes along with my meal plan and grocery haul from my home church cookbook, the one I grew up in, the church I grew up in. And it was fun. Some of the recipes were mine that I don't even think of, that I put. This was a book from 1999. 99? I think it was. And I didn't remember some of the ones I put in there. Hadn't made them probably since then. Especially since we started, dieting. We didn't make a lot of that stuff. But anyway, everything turned out really good. I was real excited to try it all. And we liked everything. Some things better than others because, that's just how it goes. But we liked everything. So I'm happy to show you what all I made this week from our first church cookbook. First church cookbook installment, because I think I'm going to do more of these. All right, let's turn around and get started cooking. Tonight we are going to make the baked corn casserole. It calls for cream of celery, and I thought I had it, so I didn't buy any. I'm having to substitute cream of mushroom, but the recipe does call for cream of celery. So we just need 1 can of that. And 8 ounces or 1 cup of sour cream. And directions are to heat it on the stove. So I'm just going to stick this right over here and just cook it until it's all blended in together. Okay, I got it all blended together and heated through. In here I have 1 bag of frozen corn that has been thawed. Didn't say what size dish to use, but just from the way the recipe sounded, I thought a 8x8 would be plenty big, and I think it's going to work. So then we just need to pour this right on top. Okay, spread it around a little bit. And then we need 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. Normally I weigh it out, but I just went with the measuring cup. So we're just going to spread that around. And then we need 1 sleeve of Ritz crackers that have been crushed. So I just put them in this bag and crushed them with the rolling pin. We'll spread that around. Now the recipe calls for 1 stick of margarine. I didn't want to, I have some margarine in the freezer. We were delivered. It was sent to us by mistake from Walmart's. But I'm using butter, but I didn't want to use a whole stick, so I am veering from the recipe there. I'm just using a 1/2 stick of butter that I melted in the microwave. This will go in at 350 for 30 minutes. Here it is fresh out of the oven. We're going to get us a little bit. See how it looks? Well, it looks good. Oh, I'm dropping the cheese. I'm going to let this cool off a minute and give it a taste and let you know what I think. Oh boy, I'm here to tell you. That is good. I definitely like that. I think David's going to like it too. So there you have it for this baked corn casserole. Tonight we're making pizza casserole. I've already browned 2 pounds of hamburger now and drained it. This makes a huge casserole. It would make probably a 9x13 at least. But I didn't want to have 1/2 can of tomato products left, so I'm making the whole thing and I'm splitting it. I'm cooking this one for supper tonight and I'm putting one in the freezer. So brown and drain your, let's see, what is this? Garlic. Your hamburger. You want a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder and a teaspoon, I can't get that down in there, and garlic salt. And my onion salt is hardened up. Well, let's change that and go with onion powder. So we want teaspoon of onion powder, and I'm going to add a little bit more salt to make up for that, but it should be a teaspoon of onion salt. So let me just... Okay, and then here is all the tomato products. We have, it just says a jar of pizza sauce. No sizes. The one I'm using came from BJ's. It's a 15.75 ounce. But it does say a 6-ounce can of tomato paste, an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. And see what I mean about I didn't want to have half, by cutting the recipe in half, I didn't want to have half a can of this and that left. And then a 1/3 cup of ketchup. So there's a lot of tomato in here. Okay, let's stir this together right quick. Okay, now we add, I've already cooked it, 8 ounces dry elbow macaroni that you cook. So weigh it out 8 ounces before you cook it. And stir that in real good. Okay, I got it all mixed up together, and we want to put half in the bottom of the casserole. I've sprayed them. Like I said, I'm doing mine in 2 separate casseroles. I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, then we need 6 ounces of shredded mozzarella cheese. So I'm going to put half on each one to use all the mozzarella. All the mozzarella goes in the middle. And then the other half of the meat mixture. Okay, then it says top with Parmesan cheese. It doesn't give any amounts or anything. And I am assuming, just because of the time that the cookbook was made, it's this grated kind. I don't recall ever using real shredded Parmesan cheese till way up somewhere in my adulthood. This is what we used. So I'm going to put some of this on there. But then I'm also going to add my own little touch, because I have some of this left from Trader Joe's Parmesan Romano and Asiago. So I'm just going to add it to the top, and then that'll finish that off as well. Now this will bake at 350 for 30 minutes. Okay, this one's going in the oven. This one I'm just going to wrap in plastic wrap, some tin foil, put a little piece of thing on top to describe what it is, how long to bake it, and just pop it in the freezer. This smells absolutely amazing. So we're going to get us a little scoop out. Oh, it looks good. And ooh, look at that cheese. Doesn't that look good? Okay, I'm going to let this cool enough and taste it. Let you know what I think. That's really yummy. Yeah, I was talking to the camera, but it is. David said, is it? That's really yummy. That was a good choice. Pizza casserole. Tonight we're doing a very simple hamburger casserole. You need 1 pound of hamburger. I'm using 93%. That's what I had in the freezer, and I thought it might be better to not have as much grease to float around the edges. Salt and pepper to taste. Now I'm going to veer from the recipe. I'm going to do a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder, just because I think it sounds good. Okay, then on top of this, and this is I think this is a 9x9. It's a little bit bigger than my 8x8, but it's dirty, so I figured this will be just as fine, just as good. The recipe actually does not state; it just says in a casserole. But I figured the amount of ingredients is going to fit in a square one. So you just need 1 sliced onion. We're just going to spread that around. Okay, and I'm going to hit it with a little bit of salt. Now we need 3 or 4 potatoes sliced. I'm going to use 4, but they're not very big. And I'm going to slice them about yay big. and we just want to spread those around. Okay. I'm also going to hit this with some salt because we all know taters can take up some salt. Any more than that, just do it at the table. Then the last thing is just a can of tomato soup, undiluted. I'm trying not to come in front of y'all. Hold on. This is not only easy, fast to throw together, but it's very budget friendly. The longest thing about this is the baking time. This will bake at 300 degrees for 2 hours. And I wasn't thinking when I picked it that it would be hot outside, but it is, and I did, so we're just going to deal with it. Let's just spread this around. Okay, then we just need to cover it really good with some tin foil. And like I said, bake it at 300 degrees. I'm not going to make a noise, for 2 hours. Here we are after 2 hours. Everything's done. It smells really good. It smells like the porcupine meatballs that you make with tomato soup. Let me see if I can get a little scoop out of here. It's all nice and done. So I'm going to let this cool and give it a taste. It's very good. I highly recommend the onion and garlic powder because I think you can tell a difference. I don't think I need any more salt. You may, but it does taste like the porcupine meatballs, except you put rice in those. And then here you have potatoes, and the potatoes are so tender. So this turned out to be a very good, easy, budget-friendly recipe. Here is our treat for the week, sour cream chocolate chip muffins. This is one of my recipes, but it's in the cookbook, so it counts. Haven't made these in a while. Been wanting them for the longest time. So I said, well, this is the week to do it. We have 5 tablespoons of softened butter. I'm going to go ahead and blend that up just a little bit. Then we need 1/3 cup of white sugar and 1/3 cup of brown sugar. I'm going to cream that together. Okay. Now we need 1 egg. And in a shell. If you get a shell, use your... Let me see if I got it. I don't think I got it. Hold on. You can, if it wasn't in this, I'm gonna have to scoop through here. That's why they say you should put your eggs in a bowl before. There it is. See, I got it. But I never do. But if you're just like, if it's not in a mixture like mine was right here where it got mixed up. Hold on. You can use your shell, your big shell, and it will cling right to it. So it does work when you don't have a bunch of stuff to fight through. Okay, so 1 egg, 1 cup of sour cream, well, I just popped a big old wad of that in the floor. This is what happens in home kitchens. Ooh, that was a big blob. Teaspoon of vanilla. Preheat your oven to 350. That's what that was. Okay, I'm going to mix this. Okay, now we have 1½ cups of flour, just plain flour. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. We just want to mix this just till it's mixed. We don't want to get tough muffins. And then we just need 3/4 cup of chocolate chips. I have semi-sweet, but I imagine you could use milk chocolate if that's what you prefer. Mine's a hefty 3/4 cup. And just mix that together. Then I have a sprayed muffin pan. Then I'm going to use my cookie scoop and fill each one. That's probably about as good as it's going to be, or as full as it's going to be to get 12. This will make 12 muffins. Okay. That's about all I can get out of there. These will bake at 350, like I said, for about 18 minutes or until it tests done with a toothpick that comes out clean. Okay, 18 minutes was the perfect amount of time. It's cooled off enough. I want to break it open so you can see what the inside looks like. Ooh, doesn't that look good? Let me get a little taste. See if it's as good as I remember. Absolutely it is. Good, good muffin. So there you have it. My sour cream chocolate chip muffins. Okay, tonight we are making Never Again Open a Can baked beans. Had to make it just because of that name. I've already browned 1 pound of hamburger and drained it. I'm going to salt it. I need to refill my house seasoning because that would be good. Okay, then we need 1 chopped onion, and it did not say to cook it in with the hamburger, so I didn't. And I went ahead and turned the heat off. I'm not cooking this. Now we need, oh, I threw them away. Okay, well, I'm just going to tell you. This is a can, these are all drained, a can of pineapple beans. Oh my gosh. Pinto beans, kidney beans, and little field peas. See, those are the little field peas in case you're not familiar. And then we need 2 cups of ketchup. 2 cups. That's what it says. So that's what we're doing. Use up a whole bottle of ketchup. And then 2 tablespoons of mustard. And I'm just going to do the eyeball. And 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. That's, and now it does not say anything about brown sugar, but I cannot fight my instinct. I always put brown sugar in my baked beans, so I have to put Cairo in them too, but I'm just going to make my addition. And stir this around, get it all good and combined. The thing that, beside the name of the recipe, is the different kind of beans in it. I've never made a baked bean recipe with 3 different beans in it, especially these 3 beans. Okay, now this is way too much for us, so I'm going to do what I did on my other recipe, is make 2. So hold on just a minute. Okay, I have these 2 dishes. Oh gosh, this is so heavy. I don't know if I can pick it up. Oh. So I'm going to try to do half and half, and the metal one is the one I'll freeze. Okay. Now we want to put some bacon on top. I have this poor little bacon that I got for something last week. This week, I don't know. It's just thin and falling apart. But I cut them in half. See? This was a sad, sad pack of bacon. Okay, this goes in a 350-degree oven for 1 hour. Not covered, just like it is. And I will wrap this one up really good. When it's time to cook it, I'll thaw it out and do the same thing. And I'm just going to serve some garden corn on the cob on the side. Since it's got beans and meat in it, there's 2 easy dishes. So, in an hour. Here it is after 1 hour. My poor little bacon kind of shriveled up, but it smells delicious. Kind of stir some of that bacon grease around in there. that look good? All right, let me let it cool and I'll give it a taste. Well, those are quite tasty. Very interesting with those different textures of beans. So, I like it. Never again open a can of baked beans. Okay, tonight we're making wedding chicken. This is one of mine. Have not made it in umpteen years. Just want to salt and pepper a little bit. I just think my pepper is clogged up. Because I don't like a lot anyway, but I kind of got my burner too hot. But cook your chicken. You want about 3 cups cooked. What you need to end up with, cook it any way you want to. Instant pot, stove top, pan, oven, however you want to cook it. Just to end up with approximately 3 cups of cooked chicken. Okay, now we just got to put the filling together. I have 1 can cream of chicken soup and 1/2 of the soup can of milk. Mix that together a little bit. Then I have 1 cup of sour cream. Sour cream makes so many casseroles that much better. And this is a very simple and I would say budget friendly as well. And then we just need to add our chicken. Now this goes in a 9x13, which I must have used more chicken back in the day than I have now, which I'm sure I did because I just package our chicken up for what we need per meal. And that's not really a lot of chicken. But I have the 9x13 sprayed and that's the one we're going to use. Yeah, I could have got away with the well, it'd be an 8x8 or 11x17. There's not a lot of chicken in there. That must not be 3 cups. But that's fine because this is as much as we're going to eat. So I'm not fretting over it. And then you just need, my recipe calls for a stick of butter, but I'm going to try to do less just because. So I melted a 1/2 stick of butter and then 1 sleeve of crushed Ritz crackers. And we just want to mix it and make it crumbly. Maybe I used more crackers back in the day too. Of course, when I did that recipe, that's when I was making for a family. And we just put that over the top. And I don't know where the name wedding chicken come from. Just to be honest with you. You know, recipes just get names from different places. So this will bake at 350 for 30 minutes. Here is our wedding chicken. I do wish I had put more crackers on it because to me the crackers is the best part. So there you have it. Let me let that cool and get a little taste. I gotta tell you, it's as good as I remember it. So there you have it. Wedding chicken. Tonight we're getting a twofer. Both these recipes are mine. Have not made them in many, many, many years. Things I forget about and I see them in the cookbook. So what I have here is some boiled potatoes. I salted the water. I'm not going to salt my potatoes because this cheese we're going to put on there is pretty salty. But I do want to add some butter. I'm just going to kind of stir that around and let it melt a little bit. Okay, you don't want your taters just falling apart because we're going to have to stir them here. Now what I have next is cheese whiz. Just cheese whiz in a jar. Take how much ever you're going to need out and microwave it. Put it in a separate bowl. And I don't know if I got enough or not, but we're going to make it work. Seems like back in the day they used to come in smaller jars. So this is not the whole jar. And we just want to gently stir that around. Okay, then we just need to top it with some bacon, much or as little as you want, and pop it in the oven just till the whole thing is nice and heated through. And that's all you got to do. Now the second thing we're going to make are these country fried hamburger steaks. I just have 4 hamburger steaks. I didn't season them because I have this just plain flour. I put a little bit of salt and pepper in there. This is buttermilk, and these are crushed up saltine crackers. And I have my pan preheating over here. I just used the same one that I cooked my bacon in and added a little extra avocado oil to it. So I'm letting that heat up. And all you have to do is coat it in the flour, then in the buttermilk, and in the cracker crumbs. And put them in the frying pan, and you're going to cook them until they're completely done. Okay, I did not finish cooking my hamburgers all the way because they're getting a little bit too brown. I made them so thick. I'm going to go ahead and let them finish cooking in this gravy. So we have 1 can cream of chicken soup, and we're going to do 1 can of milk. And we just want to stir this until it's completely mixed in together and comes up to the boil. Can I just tell you, I was stirring this and I thought something ain't right. I grabbed the wrong soup. It's supposed to be cream of mushroom soup. This will still be fine, but it is supposed to be cream of mushroom soup. So I'm going to put these back in here. Turn them over. See what I mean? They were getting a little brown because I made them so thick. But I'm going to put the lid on these and let them simmer. I'm not going to ball them real hard. Let them simmer until they're done. Here is our country fried hamburger steak and our cheesy potatoes. This is completely done in the middle. I checked the temperature. I'm going to let this cool off and take a bite. So, of course, the potatoes are good. Like I said, the cheese sauce will be salty, so be careful with the salt that you add to the potatoes. The hamburger, delicious. I can't believe I have not made this all these years, not even thinking about it. So there you have it. That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this installment of our church cookbook dinners, and I plan on doing another one. So I will see. I don't know what day you're seeing this. See you when I see you.